Okay, just pulled over here to tell you what I'm doing. It's early December. It's a very brisk day. I feel like a fish out of water a bit because I'm off Cape Cod, and I'm not often off Cape Cod. I'm going on a bit of a road trip. This is like about a 4-hour drive for me. I'm going to look at a prospective job, which would for me be a very big job. Here's the background. Back in the summer, I got contacted by this property management company. They've taken on responsibility for this big compound. Compound has 3 or 4 very large buildings on it. They're mansions, each with red cedar roofing, which has apparently never been maintained or touched in any way. So they want to know what can be done to clean it, what can be done to maintain it. I guess they got a couple local opinions, but then the manager said, you know what, I want somebody who does this for a living, not somebody who can do it. So that's why they contacted me. I do jobs off Cape a couple times a year, always for something big and unique and cedar. It's nice for the variety. It's nice because it's like a change. It's always a little stressful because, I don't know if this is going to lead to a job or if this is just going to be a wasted day. Probably about half the time that I go look at these, it ends up being a job that doesn't turn into a job for one reason or the other. Yes, they did send me pictures and video of the roofing, but I've learned the hard way that unless I see it in person, there's just too much that can be lost in translation. I want to be able to see it in person. I also want to be able to meet the manager in person to get a sense of, who he is and if it's somebody I want to work for. So, unfortunately, I can't show pictures or video of this property to you because I guess the compound is owned by somebody famous and there's some sort of non-disclosure, whatever. So I'll just have to tell you about it. But so I'm driving to see this big property with an eye towards getting them a work proposal to clean it in the springtime, in which case it would be a whale of a job for me. It'd be a 5-figure job, which for my small business is a big job. All right. I'll let you know how it goes. Well, that was a little bit of a bust. The property manager was super friendly. The owners whom I met were above and beyond friendly, and what a gorgeous property. The cedar shake roofing didn't look horrible from the ground, but once I got up close and inspected it from point blank with a ladder and I was able to put my hands on it and really spend time up close to the roof, every inspection point was rotten. And by rotten, I mean, they said it hadn't rained for like 8 days. Every inspection point was like a wet sponge. Every inspection point failed the screwdriver test where I could, basically just with barely any pressure, just depress a screwdriver right into the shake. I'm convinced, although I didn't do it, I'm convinced I could have at every point just like wiggled my finger right into the wood and right through the shake into the attic space. So, and I inspected a lot of spots. So, couple things. First of all, it was interesting that property had received a work proposal to clean those same shakes recently. It was for like $16,000. Somebody was going to squirt low concentration chlorine bleach over everything. I told the property manager, I said that, that's one way to piss away money. You can't fix a rotten roof. I think at best trying to clean it is going to make it a little brighter for a little while. And at worst, it's just going to expose how bad the condition really is. I mean, it's like brushing your teeth. If all your teeth are rotten, great, they're a little cleaner, but you still got rotten teeth, you know? So I told him, I said, look, I certainly wouldn't trust those shakes in severe weather. Certainly not a hurricane, or, I can't say it's going to fall apart or start leaking this winter, but the clock is ticking, that's for sure. So I said, look, you're going to need a new roof sometime soon. No sense spending money on trying to clean this one. I said, hey, rather than just assuming you're going to replace it with cedar, which in my opinion absolutely is not what it used to be, I said, why don't you consider slate? If somebody's going to be spending a fortune anyway, whether it's a small fortune or a big fortune, if they've got the money, which I'm thinking these owners do, get the roof that's going to last 100 years with no questions asked, rather than the one that maybe 30 to 40, maybe, with real maintenance. So anyway, maybe I should start being a salesman for the slate roofing industry. But I do think I made a good contact in the property manager. And it's always, I always appreciate the chance to see more cedar. I always get something out of it. But in terms of my bottom line, like me making any money, no, I'm not going to make any money on this 8-hour round trip. But yeah, that's how it goes sometimes. And I certainly wouldn't feel good about trying to sell them something based on the condition of that roof. All right, well, that's all for now.